Hello everyone, welcome back to Blow Par with myself, Joe Lovery. So then today I'm going to do some testing on my own game. Now a few of you then have watched my wedge gapping video and this is now me starting to perhaps hit a few more shots. So I've done a little bit of actual training, I have done a little bit of practice, not a huge amount though, but what I'm trying to do here is set a bit of a baseline, get an idea of what my distance control is like, have a good look through the bag. So what I've done, I'm using my Flightscope today, so I've got an XI Tour, and I'm going to be using the Skills app rather than just the normal range app. And what it does, it allows you to put greens on the range in front. So I'm going to have a green at 100, 130, I believe it's 150, 170, and then also a fairway which starts at 180. So allows me to sort of get the 2-iron out then and then try and hit some fairways. But quite excited to kind of see what it says data-wise, see if actually I'm still any good with my distances. If not, I can start to pick up my weak areas. Where's my misses? Am I misjudging clubs? Am I too far? Am I too short? So really good kind of baseline to start going forward with training. So let's not chat for too long. Let's get into it, get hitting some shots. So all I've done is I've just made it 3 shots then to each target, and everything's got to be hit just in line with that blue flag, which if you can't see is just left of this red flag here. So let's start then, 100 yards, try and do everything as if I'm on the golf course. Now that felt really good, that felt like a good one to start.
5 points.
Perfect. Right. I only know this is my 100-yard club. It's my 54 from my wedge gapping video that we filmed obviously just the other day.
Oh. 3 points.
108, just a fraction far.
Go ahead.
Oh no.
3 points.
Okay, so that's the 100-yard shot done.
Go ahead.
Now up to 130. So I'm going to start with a wedge. It's a little bit in between a wedge and a 9, I think 130 for me, but I think it could be a 130 club with a pitching wedge. So let's give it a go, but that's why we're here, isn't it? Get these yardages dialed in, get used to hitting targets.
Wait. 3 points. Wait. 5 points.
Just. It might be a little bit far.
Wait.
It is. It's one of the things that you probably can't see today, and you might hear it. I don't know how well this microphone's going to pick it up. It is mega downwind. You can kind of see the bits at the end, so I think that's just throwing the yardages off a little bit, just a fraction far. But so what I'm going to do for this, it's a 150, which I think normally is an 8. I'm just going to adjust to a 9 and just see where the first one goes. But I've set it up so it's 3 shots to each target, so it doesn't really give me a chance to settle in and groove with any club. Oh no. Oh, I might not score any points with that. Oh,
Wait.
wow.
1 point.
158. It's downwind. That was better. That was much better. Come on, 5 points.
Wait.
Yeah.
5 points.
Okay, last one.
Go ahead.
That felt good as well. Yeah, okay, cool.
5 points.
Not bad after that really poor shot to start. So 170, normally a 7 iron. I think with this wind, 20 yards. We'll try an 8 to begin with. Hit it well. It is. It's an 8. So obviously I'm having to learn a little bit here and adjust to say I wouldn't normally hit an 8 iron 170 yards. I think normally this would be a 150, 155, maybe a 160 club at a push, but yeah, today with this wind, 173. Luckily managed to hit the target, which is nice. Hit that well.
Wait. 5 points.
Right, one more then with this club. Oh, catch a piece. Oh, might just be a bit left. Oh.
3 points.
Just that bit long and left. Not bad though.
Club set to driver or wood.
Okay, so
Target change.
this now I wanted to give myself a chance to test the slightly longer clubs in my bag. So I can't hit any drivers here just because of the length of the range. So what I'm going to do is just going to swap the tee over and I'm just going to hit a few with this. Hopefully they stay within the boundary. It's about 230, 235 to the back edge. So I need to obviously make sure I'm not hitting balls out the back. So I've just put the start of the fairway at 180. Main reason also being I'm going to run this test quite a lot in my coaching, so I do it quite a lot with the juniors and people I coach to try and get a bit more of an understanding with their game, but equally it's an amazing one for people that say maybe don't hit the ball quite as far, that 170 maybe being the longer iron, and then give them a chance with the driver. You know, start of the fairway 180, probably most average courses are about that to the fairway, and letting the ball go on from there. So just trying to make it nice and realistic. But yeah, so 180 right up towards that blue flag. Downwind there, see what we can do. Oh no. Catch something.
3 points.
My reaction probably wasn't quite as justified as the result. That was okay. 3 points still. Take that. Come back a little bit. Oh, it's in the same spot. Oh, it's further right.
2 points.
Oh no. Had a nightmare.
Wait. 0 points.
Oh dear. Right, I've got 2 more shots to go. I need to do some sort of driving sensation here, I think, to score any sort of sensible points. Come on, keep your rhythm. That's better. Should be 5 points, that. Perfect.
5 points.
So I quite like challenges like this because obviously if you just come down and hit some balls, you don't quite get the same feedback, but not just that, you don't put yourself under pressure, you know, miss a fairway, it doesn't matter. This is actually giving me points. So when you miss a fairway, you feel like a bit of a lemon. Right, and then also, you feel the pressure already, you know, practicing here, I can feel the swing changes now starting to take effect, but me actually having to do some work to really make sure that I'm hitting the target. Hit that well. That's a nice one to finish on.
Wait. 5 points.
Perfect. So that is me done then. That is all targets hit. Is it 5 targets in total? Yeah, 5 targets in total. So unfortunately 1 shot missed that we know with the 2 iron. So definitely we're starting to spot a weak point. But what we'll do is we'll run through the data. I'll do a bit of a voiceover on that bit. So let's go over to that, see what practice needs doing. Okay then, so time for the voiceover. So what I have now obviously is 5 targets. So these are the different distances of the targets that we hit, and then it gives me a PGA comparison in percentage. So that's the average distance away. So actually I'm pretty impressed to see most of them up around that 80% mark. Just looking at the actual sort of groupings on the targets, I was really impressed with these actually in general. 3 sort of shots, all tended to be in pretty consistent areas. One of the only things obviously noting here is that generally we're missing long, but again, that I'm putting down to the wind on the day. As I said, you know, it was big downwind. And this really, the fairway view, just highlighting how one of the shots did miss left with the 2-iron, but it's still sort of just beyond 25 yards left, which sounds a lot, but actually over 225 yards, it's not a massive distance. But one of the things I liked was just the consistency of distance there. And then we then start to go into the sort of distances then, the averages or the means I should say, compared to the PGA. And actually I'm not a million miles off where they are. I'm actually better than the PGA average there at 150 to 175. But again, I mean, you know, realistically, I'm doing that stud in a range, so I don't think that really counts. But yeah, I was really happy actually overall with the sort of grouping consistencies. I just thought overall pretty tight, hitting that 5 points consistently. Nothing majorly left or right, I say, except with that 2-iron. Something I'm going to look at with that 2-iron maybe is just altering the lie angle. I have noticed it does sit a little bit upright for me at address. So certainly looking at maybe doing that in the future. But actually overall really happy with where the game is at the moment. Certainly like to do this again on a bit of a still day. Try and get a bit more dialed in with the yardages still. Really happy overall actually with the performance there. And hopefully with a little bit more work sort of over the winter, might be ready to maybe play a few events next year. Who knows? Let's see. So there we go then guys, that is my little bit of testing done. I mean it's quite short and sweet, but it's just allowed me to look a little bit through the bag, going up to sort of a mid-iron. I think obviously on a normal day I would have probably hit a club extra, which would have been ideal, but unfortunately this is the day that I've got some time to come down and test this, but also do some filming as well. So plan will be from now on will be to set a bit of a strategy around what I've tested today, and then go back and revisit in about 2 weeks time once I've had sort of 1 or 2 chances to actually go and practice those yardages. Quite happy, certainly with the wedge shots. I like the flight as well with the wedges. These new wedges, yes, they've taken some getting used to, but actually did a playing lesson at Colne the other day, and now that I know the distances, it made a huge difference. It really helped me start to use the wedges to their potential. And then around the greens as well, I've just really started to like their feel. I've got a little bit of a technique tweak that I've been doing, and that has made a real difference as well. So that's been awesome. And then with the 8-iron, I'd say that from 170 for me, if I was hitting greens from 170 over and over again, you know, I'd be really happy. So overall, pretty happy with that. But again, I'll look through the data a little bit later on, get a bit of a voiceover. But guys, thank you very much for watching today's video. Really appreciate you all tuning in, and I'll see you all very soon.